Buenos dias, YouTube. My name's Nayeli, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the meaning behind the new moon in Scorpio and how we could actually use this portal as a tool to overcome once and for all our depression. So, I know a lot of you guys are on my channel to seek words of wisdom and enlightenment and to feel one with oneself. Not only with yourself, but with your community. And I'm here to bring to light the shadowy darkness of depression. I've been choosing to suffering from depression since I was 6 years old till nowadays. It's something that sort of comes and goes, and it hits me when I least expect it, and it starts to strangle me, and it's just like laying in bed all day crying and just like not wanting to leave or think any positive thoughts and just thinking that the world is a little better off without you. And it happens, and it happens to the best of us. It happens to a lot of us. So I'm going to sort of read from a website what the new moon in Scorpio means and how we could use that as a tool to once and for all overcome our depression. Because I've noticed that depression is sort of like a meditation, but it's like a meditation of suffering. And although it sort of like feels good to self-pity ourselves and to feel unworthy and to just go into a little ball and just cry your little eyes out, it's not the healthiest for your mental state. So let me put on my reading glasses because I cannot see for shit. Okay. A new moon in Scorpio is here on November 11th, 11/11. Creating an opening for us, sort of like a portal, for us to shapeshift into a new form. Scorpio embodies the cycle of transformation, and her magic medicine teaches us how to shed outmodeled forms of being in order to rise to new heights. Death and rebirth are part of her cyclical dance, and on the November 11th portal, we are being called to trust our deepest instincts and walk through the door of self-mastery. I at one with the shifting tides. We are the mystic mama astral insights from her beloved featured readers of the stars. So ignore that last part. I'm reading this from a website called Mystic Mama. I will link it down below so you could further read what they have to say, because I really like those empowering words. I don't know if you guys have seen my recent videos, but I've been talking a lot about like subconsciousness and brain waves and how different brain waves can unlock certain things, but also there's certain blockages that can prevent you from vibrating at certain wavelengths. Therefore, you sort of are stuck in the past. If that even makes sense to yourself. Here I have this book that I've been reading, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And it's a very dirty book because it's been on a long road. So let me just go to this part real quick. Okay, let's see if you could see this. Here are the wavelengths. There's beta wavelengths, alpha, theta, delta, and gamma. Gamma is the highest and the highest of all wavelengths. Gamma is something you experience when you are truly grateful, joyful, and in the present moment, and you radiate nothing but love. It's sort of like our ultimate goal. Don't confuse the gamma rays for the beta waves, because the beta waves are simply distracted waves. You are exerting the same amount of energy, but with no healing power whatsoever. From beta we move to alpha, from alpha we move to theta, and from theta we move to delta. So delta is something delta is a brainwave in which we go into our deepest sleep with. This is where most of your subconscious thoughts sit. And this is where we would be if we lucid dreamed, or if we went to this very high point of meditation. In order to get to that, we get from beta to alpha when we start to go to sleep, and then we hit theta, and then our deep sleep would be delta. Alpha is our analytical mind. You could remember this by remembering the A, and then the analytical, D, dream, and delta. In between alpha and delta, there's theta. So alpha is your analytical mind. It acts sort of like a barrier in between your consciousness and your subconsciousness. These would be your subconsciousness. This is the barrier, and this would be your consciousness. Although a lot of people emphasize on the fact that the goal of life is to be consciousness, now I'm starting to have double thoughts on that, because we are all consciousness, technically. And the point is to heal all subconscious, unhealthy subconscious thoughts and forms, so that nothing is underlying the consciousness, if that even makes sense. So I'll give you an example. I sort of practiced this last night, because I thought, well, if you're totally like in your subconscious mind, how are you supposed to heal your thoughts, right? So let's see. Here's a good picture. I'm looking for it. We have like two sides to us. We have our survival side and our creative side. If we are always in survival, which is a very high beta, then we will never be able to create. And this beautiful world is meant for us to create in. Okay, so here's the picture. Okay, so this is our analytical mind. This is our entire mind. This is our conscious mind, and this is our subconscious mind. You see the analytical barrier that divides the two. So 95% of our mind is subconscious. Won't you look at that? 5% is consciousness. So in my opinion, we should really be focusing on our subconscious. And how we do that is through analyzing our reactions with people, realizing our effect and how we sort of react when we're not thinking, or there's like, oh, sorry, that was a subconscious thing I just did. Well, there's a reason why you're doing those subconscious things. A lot of our subconscious mind is usually developing from when we're born to when we're 7 years old. So a lot of the things we cannot really remember why we do certain things, but a lot of it has to do with your parents and the people around you. If you come from a very abusive home, very damaged home with not too much love, then you're going to react in certain ways that you don't even know why you're reacting, and it's just sort of a learned behavior. And although when you're 13 years old to when you're 17, you're sort of more conscious of what you're doing, you still don't really realize why you're doing these subconscious behaviors. So my example from last night, in my life, I felt very like unloved and just like ignored, and I felt like a lot of the attention that I just wanted attention from my mom. Like, I wanted her to tuck me in at night and like love me and stuff, but for some reason I don't know why she didn't like me. I guess I was just like evil when I was like 6 years old, but that's because when I was a baby, I had to have these like subconscious things in my mind that made me feel like I was evil or something. And I was low-key kind of always like jealous of the love my brother got. There was nights where I would sit, we had bunk beds, and like there was nights my mom would come in and she would like tuck my brother in, and she wouldn't tuck me in, and that really like affected me like a whole lot more than you would think. So then I started feeling like unworthy. I started practicing self-pity. I started just like crying for no reason. I would sit like in this corner in my mom's room and then like go under the bed, and I would just cry for hours there. And I would be like, where is she? Where is she? And I'd just like hide even harder because I don't want people to see me cry. And like, I don't want people to ask why I'm crying, because I didn't know why I was fucking crying. So last night I had like this weird dream, and I'm still practicing like the act of consciousness while dreaming, which would be lucid dreaming. And you do that through breaking the analytical barrier and diving into your dreams. And I had a dream, and it was my boyfriend was in the dream, and he was like ignoring me, and he was just paying attention to this like other girl, and like they were just like talking, and she was like flirting with him, and he would laugh and stuff, and that was making me really mad in my dream. And I was just like sitting in the car, because we were in a car, and he was sitting like really close to her and like not close to me. And so I was like, fucking like whatever, like I'm just gonna ignore him and be on my phone, just like keep scrolling through shit like I didn't care. And then I realized, hold the fuck up, I'm in a dream. This isn't real. This is literally my subconscious. So this is like a really good time to heal my subconscious. Towards like before I realized that this was a dream, I started telling myself, I started breathing, and I was like, that doesn't matter. You're beautiful. You're empowering. You're a goddess. Don't let this human like influence your reaction, and just let it go. And then I realized, hold on, this is not even real. This is a dream. And then I was like, this is literally what my subconscious like wants. Because at first I was feeling unworthy and pitiful. I was feeling like so bad about myself. And then when I realized that it was a dream, then I was like, hold the fuck up. Like, my subconscious wants me to feel like shit. Like, no way. I'm not gonna feel like shit. This isn't my boyfriend. Like, I'm going to resonate and rise above and feel worthy and feel love and feel empathy and share it. And I am a goddess. There's no doubt in my mind, we're all goddesses. And after that, I felt so much better. And then the dream kind of disappeared, and then it turned into another dream. So I felt like that was sort of like a battle, like you're in this dream and you're battling your subconsciousness, because your subconsciousness and your ego is the one that wants you to feel bad. Your ego wants you to like beat yourself down and hurt yourself, but the soul doesn't want that. So the soul will speak up and the soul will fix that. It's a matter of being conscious in your subconscious, I guess. So that was like a little like tip. It has happened maybe like a month after I started reading about like subconsciousness and consciousness and the relation between the two and the different brain waves. But it's just so weird how I was thinking, well, how am I going to heal my subconscious if you heal your subconscious usually through dreaming? And then, whoa, I was like awake in a dream and then it happened. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's an everyday struggle within ourselves, an everyday war within ourselves, to not feel these feelings of pity, and especially when like others influence these reactions out of you. You just breathe. You let it go. Nothing's worth a reaction anymore. The only thing that you should be influencing should be your future and your manifestations. And when you're using all this unnecessary energy on things other than your future and your manifestations, then you start to fall into the swirl of abyss and darkness, and you start to get depressed. You also start to get depressed when you start to lose connection from source. You gain connection to source. This is my antenna I make when I need source, and I'm just like put it towards my head and I just breathe, bring it up and bring it around and bring it to the sides of my hips, and then once again breathe, bring it up and bring it down. And then I just kind of do this sometimes to like place the antenna. But yeah, those are some little tips. Hopefully this video is like a bit helpful to you guys. It's a bit long, but I had to say everything I needed to say. So with that being said, welcome to the new moon. Today's portal. For the next, I don't know, for the next cycle, there'll be a portal. So make sure you abandon all subconscious reactions. You let go of those things. They no longer serve you any purpose. And you start to embody your future. You start to shift into your future because it is the time for transformation. So we are literally going to shift, a multi-dimensional shift, and it will be so much easier for us because right now it's a healing time in our universe. So maybe like those videos I made like 2 videos ago, I'm like, the world's so weird right now. Why is everyone going crazy? Because it was the world bringing up our subconscious reactions for the moment, and it made a lot of people like do bad things, but it also brought to light a lot of untouched feelings. And so now we take those feelings and we heal them and we patch them up, and we just like, me, I don't need you feelings, but I want like positivity, love, and like an opportunity in life to live. So namaste people, much love, much light, much abundance to you guys. Always be grateful, and I will see you next time. Deuces.